My fellow Montrealans, residents and friends of Montreal, warm greetings to all of you. Many, if not all of us, know someone, whether on Montreal or overseas, who has been personally afflicted by the coronavirus. Some have overcome and are able to share their testimonies. Others are still fighting, and sadly, some have lost the battle. So, I wish for all of us to pause for a brief moment to remember persons who have succumbed to COVID-19. Some we know, others we don't, but they are in our thoughts and prayers. May their souls rest in peace. To our frontline workers here at home and those in CARICOM and indeed across the world, we extend sincerest appreciation for the work you are doing in caring for those who have been adversely affected by this disease. To your extended family and those of the healthcare workers, thank you very much. I observed the movement of persons over the past 2 days as we went about securing essential items in preparation for the extended shutdown as part of measures to control COVID-19. I noted a mixture of emotions, some smiling as they were able to interact with others, some persons visibly tired or frustrated with the waiting period, which would naturally have been shorter had it not been for this occasion. And uncomfortable as it was for some of us, I truly appreciate your understanding of the present situation and your willingness to cooperate. Today is the last day for shopping before we return to another 7 days of total shutdown. And may I remind us, as I often do, the measures are put in place to reduce and contain the spread of the coronavirus and consequently protecting all of us. The science tells us that in the absence of a vaccine, treatment, or cure for COVID-19, we'll all have to live and work with this virus. And while the island has not recorded any new cases since April 12, there were 10 active cases at that date. 2 persons have since fully recovered. 8 cases are still active. And the number of persons in quarantine has been reduced to 27. This is indeed good news, providing some indication that the lockdown is working. However, we should not be overly optimistic at this time, as the virus has a way of re-emerging. As a result, we cannot lay down our guards. We do have a long way to go before the island is returned to normal. It could be months and maybe years before we no longer feel the effects of COVID-19 on our economy, on our healthcare system, our families, and indeed on our social integration activities. But we will be victorious. The government's intention is to be able to test every person in the island for the coronavirus. In this way, the Ministry of Health team will be able to identify persons who may be carrying the virus but are not displaying symptoms. Unfortunately, this will not be possible immediately, as we await word on the arrival of a testing machine and test kits. In the meantime, I urge all of you to continue practicing social distancing, maintain the required hygiene practices, and please stay at home. At the same time, I'm appealing to persons who might be displaying COVID-19 symptoms to please contact and visit the flu clinic in St. Peter's, which is open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And after hours and on weekends, persons should call 491-2802, 491-2836, or 491-2552. Please do not go to the hospital casualty department. Just call the numbers. We are aware that the country cannot remain in lockdown mode indefinitely. And that is why government is seeking to put in place measures geared towards opening up some businesses and services incrementally. We will be soliciting from the private sector and other stakeholders as we work to reinstate some service to the population. However, during any period of a phased reopening of businesses, we will be guided by the science, and the Ministry of Health will continue to vigorously monitor and manage COVID-19 on Ireland, and measures will be modified as required. I am pleased to provide a further update on the medical support from Cuba. The Cuban medical team has been assembled, and the logistical arrangement for their travel to Montserrat is being worked on. We look forward to the arrival, as it will be a welcome relief to the overstretched medical staff. The arrival date will be announced at another time. Last week, I announced that efforts were being made to streamline operations to allow for one central distribution network for public inquiry. However, due to technical difficulties, the system cannot facilitate this operation as initially planned, where an operator at the DMCA would have been able to connect callers to their party based on their needs. Nonetheless, persons can still call the DMCA at 491-3076, 491-3076 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and will be advised on appropriate numbers to call based on their needs or requests. Efforts continue to ensure that individuals and families affected by the COVID-19 economic fallout are able to receive assistance. To date, the number of food packages delivered from the food bank amounts to 480. The Social Services Department is working diligently with partner agencies on this initiative, even as they continue to make improvements to these operations to be able to better serve you and meet your needs. Persons can now call the Department of Social Services and register for the various benefits packages under the government's stimulus program. These programs are designed to cushion the economic hardship which households and individuals are experiencing as a result of this fallout from COVID-19. Persons can qualify for assistance and register for the following groupings: single low-income earners, large family low-income earners, vulnerable families whose children are on the lunch programs list, and persons in quarantine. Additionally, an unemployment benefit package is available to provide financial assistance to persons who are registered as self-employed, persons who lost their jobs after March 27, and persons who are unemployed before March 27, 2020. Registration for this assistance is managed by the Social Services Department, and you are encouraged to call and register. The numbers to call are 491-3895, 491-5307, or 495-3895 between the hours of 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. And in the evenings and on weekends, you can call 495-5307 and 495-5307. 5308. I also wish to report that applications received under the tourism sector are being processed, and payments will be posted to given accounts shortly. Assistance to other businesses across all sectors is also available. Applications are now being accepted from employers of other businesses who may wish to apply for salary support for their employees. Business owners are asked to take the time to fill out the application forms and return to the Ministry of Finance by Friday, May 8th, 2020. After a 3-day break, the island will once again return to lockdown starting at midnight on April 23rd. That's tonight. This can be seen as a continuation of the previous measures which were in place on April 13th. I recognize that it is not the ideal situation to be in, but the situation demands it if we are to break the chain of the coronavirus. Tomorrow will be a new day. And while we are free to exercise within our immediate surroundings, no more than 1 mile from your home, we will all remain at home, bearing in mind that the only business which will be allowed to open are doctor's office, pharmacy, and undertakers, along with essential service providers, which were identified on the April 13th arrangement. Only persons with passes will be permitted to be on the roads, and they must carry their IDs and must only be engaged in the task for which the passes were issued and within the specific timelines. Please continue to listen to Radio Montserrat for regular updates on the restrictions which are in place for the next 7 days. I want to leave with you a quote from the Director General of the World Health Organization. And I quote, "COVID-19 is taking so much from us, but it is also giving us something special. The opportunity to come together as one humanity, to work together, to learn together, and to grow together," unquote. Indeed, this coronavirus pandemic has robbed us of so much, but it has restored some of the values which we as a community have lost over these many years. It allows us to be still and to recognize God's creation, something which we have not appreciated for a long time. It provides us with a relaxed moment which we just couldn't find for ourselves. It allows us to rest, restore, and to renew for the months ahead. It allows us the opportunity to strengthen family bonds. It has given parents an opportunity to be involved in their children's education. It provides us with time which we could not have found to do so many things at home. It allows us to get in touch with the friends who we have not spoken to for such a long time. But more so, it allows us to see our country and our world as one. Staying at home is not all negative. Staying at home is not bad after all. So for the next 7 days, let us obey the law and stay at home. We are all in this together for the good of each other. Please stay safe, everyone, and may God continue to watch over us.